if our mind is cluttered. Even paradise feels like a prison. We buy tickets, escape to the coast, or lock ourselves in quiet rooms, honestly believing that if we can just find the right spot, the noise in our heads will finally stop. This video is about a rare experience of clarity. What happens when you step into a massive city, not to join the race, but to look right through it? And yet, this boring grey reality can suddenly reward you with absolute magic, simply because you kept your inner space clean. Right before taking a step into a place where peace is never supposed to exist. My dear friend, have you ever noticed how often we look at our lives and think, I just need a change of scenery? We treat peace as a place on a map. It's paradoxical, isn't it? I used to do the exact same thing. But the truth is, places don't have a personality. A city isn't inherently mean or anxious, just as a beach isn't inherently peaceful. The world outside is just a mirror. When the heavy doors open and you step onto the platform, the city hits you all at once. It's easy to feel small here. My brain, conditioned by years of modern survival, instantly expected the usual weight, the exhaustion, the background anxiety, and that frantic rush of thousands of people trying to outrun tomorrow. I looked at them, and I didn't feel angry or detached, just a quiet, warm empathy. I know that race all too well. I know what it feels like to believe that if you stop for a second, you'll be left behind. But within that pause, something unexpected happened. I looked at the roaring terminal, and for the first time I just didn't join in. I looked right through it, and when you look through the chaos, you start to see a hidden, deep stillness. It turns out nothing in this world is inherently frantic or inherently peaceful, really. A beach doesn't own silence, and a crowded station doesn't own noise. They are just backdrops waiting for our inner state to give them color. It is way too easy to feel like an enlightened master when you are completely isolated. When no one wants anything from you, and your hardest choice is whether to look at the sky or the horizon, your ego quietly grows. You look at the chaotic world from a distance with a soft kind of arrogant pity. You think you've finally figured out the universe. but life has a dark sense of humor. The exact moment you start feeling superior, it kicks you out of your comfortable bubble and drops you right onto the hard concrete of a loud city. And here I am, but the anxiety I expected just never showed up. When you approach a crowded city with a clean state, you notice something amazing. The city isn't fighting you. It isn't trying to prove anything. It's just waiting. It's sitting there in limbo, waiting to see how you show up. It's waiting to find out what kind of city it needs to be, just for you. The simulation demands your attention, but what happens when you simply don't have the inner chaos to feed it? When you step out of that lone silence from the last episode, straight into a city of millions, you brace yourself for a crash. You expect a violent collision. But the glitch turns out to be entirely different. Surprisingly, the streets aren't screaming. In fact, they aren't loud at all. People aren't running, they aren't overtaking each other, and they don't seem to be chasing anything. Nothing here is rushing. It's strange, but everything feels measured, unhurried, and quiet, right here, in the middle of it all. It turns out that when you ignore the surface, the career ladders and social noise, the city shows you its secret geography. I gave up on its statuses and promises, and in return, it gave me its deepest layer, the one hidden from everyone else. Instead of the expected roar of traffic, the air is filled with the piercing cries of swifts. They sound louder here than anywhere else. High above, they cut dizzying circles in the open sky, flying over the old architecture. It's so beautiful. It feels like nature has secretly taken over the concrete. The city is nothing like the one I used to know. It acts like it has completely different soul. But can a city really change? Does it even have a fixed character to begin with? It's crazy, isn't it? The world right now is definitely not calm. On the contrary, it's louder, tenser, vibrating with historical events and anxiety. And yet the people walking past me look undeniably at peace. The simulation hasn't changed, but because my inner screen is clear, I suppose, the space is forced to play a different movie. It turns out the landscape has no voice of its own. It only echoes the silence you brought with you. Let's rewind for a second. I promised to tell you about the end of my train journey. I stepped into the main station building with the very last passenger, completely invisible in my wrinkled clothes, carrying nothing but that fresh, fragile silence I'd been protecting the whole way. And then, out of nowhere, a girl stops me. She looks right at me and says, "Wait, we're here to meet you." Before my brain could even process the mistake, the grey, boring room literally exploded. A royal welcome, I must say, played out in a basic transit hall. Of course, I knew the logic behind it. It's just a beautiful local tradition, welcoming important legations or guests with traditional dances. They definitely weren't waiting for a quiet traveler with wrinkled sleeves and a steel heart. But honestly, it didn't matter at all. Because in that exact moment, they were dancing for me. When your inner canvas is clean, you stop being a victim of the scenery. You become its source. It was your own silence that gave life to this quiet city. The world has no color of its own. It's just a faithful mirror waiting for you to paint it. And when you bring this absolute peace, the universe just can't resist. It's just forced to create a masterpiece right at your feet, even if it has to borrow someone else's joy to do it. We spend so much energy fighting for stability or running to the edge of the world for a quiet corner. But the secret is stupidly simple. We don't need to conquer the world. We just need to protect the space inside. Keep the lens clean. Stay in the pose. And tomorrow, when you open your eyes, my dear friend, reality will quietly rebuild itself around your heart. In perfect harmony, just for you. But will I manage to keep this silence for another 50 hours and 50 days? It's funny, isn't it? Because right now I'm walking straight into a place where peace has never existed. Into my childhood family. Into the house where I haven't lived for 25 years.